Greetings, Pokemon fans, and welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. Today we're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Crystal using Slowking. This is an optimized playthrough. Slowking is known as the royal Pokemon. Let's go and dive into our first battle. It's against our rival. Our rival's name is Triple Question Mark, as per tradition. We gave him a Chikorita. We are a water type, so Chikorita makes the most sense. This is an optimized playthrough, so as you can see, we're using a move called Stomp. I'll explain here in a minute why we're using the move Stomp and why we gave our Pokemon Stomp. But nonetheless, we beat our rival. We're going to move right onto this route, and I'll explain some things on this route. So first off, in an optimized playthrough, we can modify our stats. Stats in this right now, we have perfect IVs. In the first playthrough, we played through with Hidden Power Fire, which makes a couple of our stats a little bit lower. And to have maxed out stats, you go Hidden Power Dark, because we don't actually need to use Hidden Power. Hidden Power is not useful to most water Pokemon, and actually in this case, it's not useful at all to this Pokemon, so we can get through the game just fine without it. So we have solutions to the problems that we had with Pokemon that we needed Fire type. So we got a solution, so that's not a problem. Second thing we can modify is we can take a move either and or, so we can do both, from the breeding move set, and from the event moves. Out of all those, there wasn't really any good ones except for Stomp, which Stomp isn't exactly great, but it is almost twice as powerful as Tackle. And early in the game with Curse, you pretty much are a physical attacker, whereas late in the game, you're a special attacker. This is just going to help us in the early game be a little bit faster. And as we're wrapping up against this final bug catcher, we're going to go right into Falkner's Gym. Now, another benefit to an optimized playthrough, we don't have to play through Bellsprout Tower. That is why we're going at level 9, whereas in the original playthrough, I'm pretty sure we're at level like 14. So we're going to face Falkner. Falkner Stomp will be at least a 2-shot. Yep, it will be a 3-shot. On the Pidgey, very good. And then now Pidgeotto comes out, and we can just go for Stomp. We could have used Curse and actually sped up our attack and everything, but we decided to opt against that. Just go for broke. We do actually heal up a little bit. That did help us in this battle. We get to level 10. I'm going to move right on to Union Cave. Now, Union Cave, we did stop and get the Swift TM last time, but we don't. Swift is actually less powerful than Stomp. It is, it never misses, so it is a little bit beneficial there. But in all, Stomp's just a better move, and we're not going to have Swift very long anyway if we added it. But I'll show this battle because we just added Water Gun, which is our first stab move. So we're going to take that move and go right into, I'm pretty sure it's Bugsy. Yep, we're going to go right in Bugsy's gym. We're going to Super Sim all these battles right there, and we're going to get up to a nice level. Not a great level because we're not super high level. We were at level, I think, 20 last time we played this. So we're not as high level as we could be. We're going to go and go for Curse. We're going to up our attack stat real quick. On the Metapod, it's just going to go for, it can't really do anything other than lower our speed, which is bad, and lower it up its defense. So nothing really happens there. So now Stomp will one-shot the Scyther, very good. And Kakuna will also, should be one-shot as well, we'll see. But I think it should be one. Nope, 2-shot. It's okay though. It can't really do anything to us, so we get the very easy win over Bugsy, our second gym leader. And now we're going to go on to probably the most difficult battle in this game, which is our second rival. The second rival is so difficult because, not that he's like so powerful, it's just he gets like great moves. Like usually Ghastly can be a problem, but he's not a problem in this battle, so we do get him knocked out with 2 Mud Slaps. And then Bayleaf comes out. Now Bayleaf has Razor Leaf, which we are 2 times weak to. Look at the effective power of it right now, to 165. So it's a very powerful move against us, and we just don't have a great option. Mud Slap is probably our best bet, maybe a little bit of Curse to make our damage go up. So we get our first reset, and it's not reflecting yet, but it'll show on there in a second. So our first reset is against our second rival battle, which it is the most difficult one. So we're going to go for Curse, hopefully on the Ghastly, hopefully it doesn't paralyze us. And we just kind of get our stats boosted a little bit. We do it 3 times. We're going to go second anyway. We might as well get our stats boosted as much as possible. So Mud Slap is a 1-shot on the Ghastly. And now we're going to go into Bayleaf. Now Bayleaf, again, not a great matchup for us, but Mud Slap will make it so it's harder for him to hit us. Razor Leaf is already not exactly 100% accurate. So this will actually help us out a little bit. So Stomp is going to do, looks like it's going to be 2 hits with Stomp will knock it out. Very good. Get the knockout. And now we just have Zubat, so as long as we don't miss a move, we should be fine. We will remove Curse and add Confusion. So now we have 2 stab moves, 1 water type and 1 psychic type. And this will help us against this Zubat. The Zubat is poison type, so we should actually go Stomp for Confusion, but we tried to just stick with our physical stats that we just boosted. And now we're going to talk to this guy with green hair staring at trees. He's going to give us Headbutt. Headbutt's going to be a nice move to add. And we're going to have one more conversation here before we dive into our next gym battle. And this girl will give us the Quick Claw. This Quick Claw lets us go first occasionally. It's not, it's decently reliable, but it doesn't work all the time. It just, hopefully it works in the right battles. But it just gives you the opportunity to go first, even if you're a slow Pokemon. So we're going through Whitney's gym here. We're going to Super Sim all these battles. Whitney's not really that difficult. Let's go ahead and dive into this battle and see what happens. She's going to come out with the Clefairy. Clefairy is going to go down to 1 confusion. Nope, I'm sorry, 2 confusions. There we go. So knockout on the Clefairy. Miltank's going to come out. Let's see how it happens with Miltank. It misses its first rollout, which is good for us. So now it's not going to get to accumulate some damage, but we get the knockout. And we get the pretty easy win over Whitney. I'm going to move right on and face this rock tree thing that's blocking our path. It's Sudowoodo. It is actually a rock type, but it looks like a stump. I guess it mimics a stump. That's what its point is. And we beat him, and we move right on to the Komodo girls. And usually these battles are pretty much obsolete, but I use this opportunity to go ahead and talk about some things with the channel. So first off, make sure you like, share, subscribe. All those things really do help out the channel. Liking, it just gets it out to more people. The engagement really helps. Sharing gets out to more of your friends so they can subscribe. I'm at 470 subscribers right now. So I'm very close to 500. That's my goal. Hoping to get there by the end of April. So you can help me out a lot by hitting that subscribe button. And also comment. If you have any questions, you have any concerns, you have any, hey, why didn't you use this strategy? If you have any of those concerns at all, put it in the comment section down below. We'll create a dialogue. As long as it's respectful, I reply back to every message. And we can talk about some things with the videos. There's also other videos I have on the channel. So this is a playthrough of Pokemon Crystal. I'm doing in order. I had a playthrough I did of Pokemon Blue where I played through in order. And I just started a series where I'm doing all the typings of Pokemon Blue together to figure out who the best of every type is. I just did a playthrough of Charizard on Wednesday, and last Wednesday I played through with Magmar. So unless something happens schedule-wise, I should be still having those videos coming out every Wednesday. Go like them, go watch them, and see what you think. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let's go and dive back into this. We got Surf from the Komodo. The guy watching the Komodo girl is kind of creepy, honestly. And we're going to go ahead and face off against our rival. So now we have Confusion, Surf, Return, and Mud Slap is still on the moveset. I really should have added Ice Punch at this point, but I forgot to grab it when I was in Goldenrod City. It's not a huge deal, because that would have been useful right there against Bayleaf. Bayleaf would have gone down to 1 Ice Punch pretty much for the most part, because our special attack's so high. But we knock out the Zubat, we knock out the Bayleaf, we knock out our rival. We beat him, we fall through the floor. Oh no! And then now we're going to go ahead and face Morty, the Ghost Gym Leader. So Morty's not a problem. We have a very effective move. We actually have 2 effective moves against him. Mud Slap's pretty effective. Surf is pretty good, and then Confusion's pretty effective. But ultimately, as long as we can hit it, we can knock it out. So the only thing we have to worry about is Gengar can put us to sleep, but he doesn't. No big deal. And now Haunter goes down 2-1. He outsped us there, but we still get the knockout. We get the win over Morty. I'm going to move right on to old Chucky Boy. Chucky Boy is the fighting gym leader. We have an advantage here again because we have a psychic type move. Let's go ahead and face old Chuck and see how this plays out. So Chuck's going to come out with a Primate. Primate should go down to 1 Confusion. Very good. Poliwrath is a little more bulky, so he will take 1 and he'll put us to sleep out while he's confused. He'll go for Dynamic Punch consistently, but we wake up. We don't have any real issues with Chuck. We beat him, and we move right on to Jasmine. There we go. Jasmine is a Steel Gym Leader. Now, this is why we originally had Hidden Power Fire, was for her Steel types, but, we have high special attack, and they have low special defense. So we're going to go for Surf, and Surf will one-shot both the Magnemites. That same strategy will help on our rival as well. He has a Magneton that can be problematic with Paralyzation, but we don't have to worry about that because, again, we have Surf. Surf will do just fine to knock it out, so that's the adjustment I made in this playthrough. Gyarados all hulked out, red Gyarados, knock it out in 2 hits, very good. We get the red scale, we're going to go ahead and move on. It doesn't really help us in the playthrough, I'm just narrating what the screen says. And now we're going to face Price. Price is the Ice Gym Leader. We really doesn't have an advantage here. He could freeze us, that is a possibility. But returns a 1-shot on the Seal. Dugong Gong Gong's a little bulky, so Return will not one-shot it, very good. But Piloswine is part ground, so Confusion. I don't know why I went for Confusion, she went for Surf. Not a big deal, we'll still get the knockout, still get the win over Price. And then we're going to move right on to our next rival battle. And again, this one, he should have a Magnemite or Magneton. Which one is it? Magnemite, but it now has Thunder Wave. We don't have to worry about that as long as we go first and we can hit it. We're not going to have any problems with the Magnemite. So Magnemite comes out, we hit Surf, we knock it out. We actually outspeed significantly, so we don't have to worry about that. Return on the Sneasel, and as long as we don't fall off the rails here, we should win this battle easily. 1-shot on the Meganium and Haunter. We're not going to learn Swagger; it's not really effective for what we need. And we're going to go ahead and go for Surf. It's a 1-shot on the Haunter. Very good. So that is our Price, Rival, Clair sandwich. And now we're going to do our Rival, Clair, Price, or Rival sandwich. Clair will go down to 1 Dragonite, or knock out 1 Dragonite. We're going to knock out the second Dragonite with Ice Punch. I forgot to mention that part. We're using that. And we learned Psychic, which is our best move we can possibly learn. Very good. And so now we have a very good stab move going forward, and we actually should use that on the Kingdra here. Maybe Return will be used. But let's see how Psychic works. Psychic, one shots. Wow, it was a critical hit, so that definitely helped. So we beat Clair, and we move right on to our final rival battle in this game. And our rival is pretty much a joke at this point. He's going to come out with Sneasel. He might actually outspeed us. But we're going for Return. It's a knockout. And then we're going to have Golbat come out. Nope, Magneton, I'm sorry. Surf, one shot, very good. Still slower than us, so that's good. Meganium, still slower than us. Ice Punch will knock it out. It's excellent. So now we have 3 Pokemon left, and Confusion or Psychic should do, or it's Psychic, not Confusion. It should knock out every single one of them. So knockout on the Haunter, very good. And then the last Pokemon is just Kadabra. Psychic probably would have knocked it out, but Return's better because it's physical. We beat our rival. We're going to move right on to the Elite Four. Now, in the last playthrough, we went into the Elite Four and we didn't have any losses. We went in with pretty good stats. We went pretty good moves. So the first thing I want to do is showcase what we got going on with this Pokemon. So like I said, no resets in the Elite Four in the last playthrough. Let's see if we can replicate that. See if this is consistent with this Pokemon or if the last one was a fluke. First off, we're going to start off with our moveset and our held item, which is Quick Claw. We can change other things. There's not really a benefit to changing any of those. But we're going to have Psychic, Surf, Return, and Ice Punch. And I don't think we're changing any of those moves throughout this. So that's the first thing. Second thing is our stats. Now, obviously, our stats are modified in the top left corner. That was extremely fast. But let's go ahead and go over our stats again. There we go. No, possible, but quicker. Got to be a little quicker on the draw there, JD. All right, so attack is 119, defense is 124, special attack is 145, special defense is 155, and speed is 74. And yeah, the bottom left corner has the modified stats. So let's go take on the Elite Four and see how well we do. So the first member of the Elite Four is Will. He is a Psychic type trainer just like us, and he's going to lead with a Xatu. Now we have pretty much a move for everyone here. So first we have Ice Punch, which will one-shot the Xatu. He does hit us with a Psychic. It does not do any damage really at all. So Ice Punch will one-shot the Executor as well. And the third Pokemon is Xatu. Ice Punch as well. Confusion Ray could be bad because we can hit ourselves a lot. But we end up knocking out the Xatu. So I have 2 Pokemon left, which is Jinx. Jinx, we do outspeed, so Return should be a one-shot. Very good. And then Slowbro, very high defense just like us. So we want to go for Return, and it'll be a 3-shot. It can't really do much to us anyway. So we get a pretty easy win over Will. And we're going to move right on to Koga, who is the Poison specialist in the Elite Four. And just like with Will, this should be a pretty easy battle. Ariados come out. Psychic is a one-shot. Very good. Fortress comes out. Surf should be a 2-shot or a 1-shot. It's a 1-shot. Very good. And now from here, all of his Pokemon I left are Poison type, so Psychic is super effective. It's got 270 effective power right now. We went for Surf just because I don't know why we went for Surf there. Psychic should have been it. Maybe we're trying to conserve power points. That could be possible. But we get the pretty easy win over Koga and move on to the Fighting type specialist, who is Bruno. We don't usually talk about Bruno very much. In Generation 2, he does have a little bit of a redemption arc, I should say, because he's a little more effective. But Hitmontop is slower than us, so we hit it with 1 shot. Hitmonchan is slower than us, we hit it with 1 shot. Hitmonlee actually outspeeds, but Onix we knock out, so Hitmonlee outspeeds us. But with the Quick Claw activates, and we do knock it out in one go. And then Psychic on the Machamp. 1-shot knockout, very good. Haven't really taken any resistance so far, but usually the problematic one is Karen. Karen comes out, and she comes out with her Dark-type Pokemon. Umbreon's the first one. We're going to go for Surf. Surf will be a 2-shot. We do get our accuracy lowered, so this battle could go off the rails with our accuracy being lowered. However, we persevere through it. Ice Punch is a 1-shot on the Murkrow, very good. Vileplume comes out. Ice Punch, Psychic actually is more powerful, so 270, very good. Knock it out. And then Gengar comes out. Gengar goes down to 1 Psychic, and so now we just have the Houndoom. We cannot use Psychic on that. It's resisted completely, but we get a 1-shot with Surf. So we beat Karen. Again, looks like we're about to clean sweep this. Let's see if we can actually finalize this and follow through and beat Lance. Lance the Liar with the Flyer is going to come out with the Gyarados. Gyarados go down to 2. 2 what? Psychics? Yeah, 2 Psychics. 2 Returns would have done the same thing. So now Dragonite comes out. As long as we can go first, and right now we do not outspeed, so the Quick Claw had to have activated right there. And then second Dragonite, Quick Claw activates again, so we outspeed again. And then Dragonite number 3 comes out, and we go for Ice Punch. It's a 1-shot. We did not outspeed that one. So the next 2 Pokemon we definitely don't outspeed. However, they got nothing effective against us. So Charizard goes down to a 1-shot, and Aerodactyl will get a Rock Slide off, and we'll get a Surf off. And so we beat the champion. We beat Lance, and now we're just trying to get that time locked in. And now we're going to look at the time. Come on. Just about 1 hour and 4 minutes, right? Yep, right there. 1 hour and 4 minutes. So when you compare that to what we did in the first playthrough, so the first playthrough wasn't actually too bad. So I don't want to sit there and say that it was a bad time, but we did save ourselves 10 minutes. Now the big time game is going to be in the second half. Did we get through Kanto in a good time? That's really the question here. But look at the stats. We're actually, about the same level. We have a little bit higher stats just because that's how IVs work. We had different battles we got. We had a higher special attack on the second playthrough. We had a lower special attack on the first one. We had across the board just a little bit different. Very happy with this result. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish off the playthrough. So we're going to have our victory lap in Kanto. Come and join me, and then we'll take on Red. See you guys in Kanto. Now that we're in Kanto, you can go ahead and watch the battles. I'm not going to narrate the battles. They're pretty obsolete. It's just a victory lap until we can get the Red. But I will talk about some other things on the channel. So first off, like I said, there's a new series I have where I'm figuring out the best type or best of every type in Generation 1. And I'm doing fire types first as a Magmar and a Charizard playthrough. I recommend you go check it out. Those come out every Wednesday. The next Pokemon for that series will be Rapidash. I think Rapidash should do pretty good. It doesn't have access to as many moves as Magmar and Charizard, but it will have some pretty good stuff. And I have decided to do the playthrough with Fully Evolved. So that's it's going to have a little bit of a wrinkle here and there with some things, but I think it's going to be better doing that to figure out who the best one is of every typing. Talking about this series, people seem to be enjoying the optimized playthroughs. I seem to get more views on those than I do the regular playthrough. I still recommend you check it out just so you can see the comparison. Nonetheless, I'm happy everyone's enjoying the optimized playthrough. I'm enjoying that format. Now, what I do want to kind of talk about a little bit is there are some Pokemon coming up that are pretty tough. They're problematic. It's the nicest way I'll put it. They're really tough Pokemon. And what I would like to do is, if potentially in between some of them, go back and play through some other Pokemon that I haven't done yet. So, for example, I have not done a replay of all the starters yet. Haven't done an optimized playthrough, I should say. Haven't done an optimized playthrough of a couple other Pokemon. So I didn't start this until maybe like 5-10 Pokemon in. So there's a couple Pokemon out there in the ether that still need an optimized playthrough. Crobat is an example. Crobat never got an optimized playthrough. I just started out as Zubat and played through until I got Crobat. So playing through this Crobat, I think, actually adds a different dynamic because it's such a much better Pokemon than Zubat. So just things like that. So we can kind of see what really can be optimized the most about the Pokemon. So let me know what you think about that. I do have some really tough Pokemon coming up. So the next Pokemon is Mischievous. She's not going to be super tough. She doesn't exactly have the greatest stats, but she will be a pretty good Pokemon to play through nonetheless. But there's some ones after her are going to be really tough. You got Wobbuffet, you got Unknown, you have Shuckles coming up, Pineco, I think that's what its name is. Pineco is a Pokemon coming up. So there are a handful of Pokemon that are going to be very difficult for playthroughs. I'm excited about them, but kind of in between those, I kind of want to throw in a couple optimized playthroughs, some Pokemon we haven't optimized yet, especially the starters. They deserve a good representation. And potentially even like a good egg move. Especially Meganium. Meganium gets a lot of crap for what it is. The whole Chikorita line gets a lot of crap in general for just how it played through Generation 2. But in other games, it doesn't do bad. Like if you play through Generation 3, I think Chikorita is actually pretty decent. If you play through Generation 1, it's okay, but it's not better than Venusaur. It just is better because of how the gym's laid out and how what you come across and where it's at in the game. So it does a little bit better. Whereas in this game, you come across the Bug Gym Leader and you Flying Gym Leader, your first two gyms, and you have basically a Ghost Poison Gym that you're not super effective against. Then you come across a Steel Gym that you don't have anything good against, and so on and so forth. Ice Gym, Dragons, I don't think you got anything bad against. Pretty neutral, but not the greatest. So yeah, and in Elite Four, you have a lot of things in Elite Four that are kind of tough. So in this game, it's not very good for a game, I should say. But I just wanted to see what you guys thought about potentially go back and doing those. And right now we're going to dive right back into our battle against Blue. Blue is going to come out with a Pidgeot. We're going to go for Ice Punch. And it's going to one-shot. Very good. I was concerned about that. Executor comes out. Ice Punch. We'll see if it one-shots the Executor. It doesn't. It gets close, though. It goes for Sunny Day. And instead of actually following through and doing an attack, it actually heals itself. So that's good. I think it just goes for Sunny Day. No, it does have Solar Beam. Okay, so took in Sunlight. And now we're going to go ahead and attack Alakazam. Return should be a one-shot on the Alakazam. We will not go first. It will not be a one-shot. He just went for Reflect. So he's got to stall it out a little bit. Actually, hope he keeps doing this because he stalls out Reflect so he can use other moves. Like For example, with Gyarados return, we'll do pretty decent on the Gyarados, but we're going to go for Psychic, because Reflect, I think, was still up or close to it. Yeah, for the first turn, Reflect was still up. So now we have Arcanine, Surf will be a one-shot, and it also will be a one-shot on the Rhydon. So we get a pretty easy battle over Blue. We get one reset up to this point. We're an hour and 22 minutes. And so we're going to leave Blue. I'm going to go right into our last battle of the game, which is Red. So Red comes out with a Pikachu. Now we make a couple blunders here. Surf one-shots the Pikachu, but, you know, Thunder does a decent amount of damage. Not the biggest deal in the world, but we added Shadow Ball to knock out the Espeon, and hopefully it won't go, but it did not happen. And it keeps this attacking us, so we have decent medium health, I should say, going into the Snorlax. Now, he's the problem, because we don't have anything that's super great, so I'm hoping to get like a special defense drop. So Surf, we don't do that, we do Return. If he doesn't paralyze here, I think we win, so we have to take a reset there. And if he doesn't paralyze there, I'm pretty confident we're going to win that battle. So here's where I got a little bit upset, and I should have just went through with that battle, and we probably could have this beat in under an hour and 25 minutes. But Pikachu keeps going for Charm, and honestly, he never hits this move, but he hits it like 5 turns in a row. So it's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. He does outspeed us. I was hoping, no, actually, we don't have the Quick Claw, so we're not even going to outspeed, so we just concede that. So Shadow Ball will one-shot the Espeon this time. Very good. Now Snorlax comes out in kind of the same song and dance as Snorlax. Surf actually doesn't do bad, but we have to switch to a physical move. If he doesn't paralyze us here, we win that battle. We win these battles pretty hands down. But he gets this paralyzed Lux so efficiently, I should say. So right there, we just got charmed, and so now we're going to go for Surf again, one shot on the Espeon. We're just going to go all in on special attacks. That's the goal right now. We're not going to go for physical moves. We got our special or physical attacking stats lowered. So that's what we're doing right now. It's just going to go all in on special attacks. We get the knockout on the Snorlax. So now, this should be a foregone conclusion. Psychic should one-shot the Venusaur. Very good. Blastoise, we don't have anything great against. However, its special defense is lower than its physical defense. So using Psychic as stab move will be very effective. So that's a 2-shot. And as long as we don't screw up and hit the wrong button, Surf on the Charizard is a one-shot. Very good. We beat our rival, we beat Red at 1 hour and 27 minutes and 3 seconds. So as we pull up the time from the last playthrough, look at this time. So we saved ourselves not a lot of time, honestly. It's not too much of a savings on time. And that's just because this Pokemon's pretty good, and that just shows how much we know about the game at this point. So the amount of stuff we know at the game, that's why there's not a drastic margin of like improvement. We did improve by 12 minutes, which is not bad. It's nothing to sneeze at. I'd be curious in the future. I actually maybe need to go check out another YouTuber, Squidgy, and see how we played through this Pokemon. I know that the end game, like the last battle, we played a little bit better than he did. But I gotta see the stuff in between. Because with this Pokemon being so slow, and yeah, not having the greatest access to... well, the moveset's not the problem with this Pokemon, it's just the speed. But with that being said, I don't know what we could do to make this better. I looked at everything I could. We ended up just not going for Hidden Power, and that saved us that, and like not doing a couple things saved us 12 minutes. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I think this could have been 15 minutes saved at least, if we maybe went with that first battle. We got charmed and just stayed all in on physical or special attacks. Might have been the way it went, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below about this playthrough. This is JD. This is JD's Nerdverse. Our next playthrough will be Mischievous. You'll see the prediction video for Mischievous on Monday. Let me know what you think. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.